stink eye from my wife. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing."
One might love his Switch more than his girlfriend.
Man, I hope she's not listening to this. Please.
And one's a dad who can't stop playing Rocket League.
These kids these days, they're like, we're used to jump and run.
Together, they welcome you to Breed's Gamers Lounge.
What's up? Hey, that intro does not get old. I love it. It's hilarious. It's on point. It nails us to the T.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our good friend John is not here today. He is on a volleyball trip with the Badgers women's volleyball team, and so he had to go do his other job. So he's away. But we got a full screen, as you see, so we're good. We got a good crowd in here today. We got my man Ben checking in as usual, and then good friends of mine is joining us, Shane and Vereen. And so, fellas, I'm glad to have you. So, like I said, we do a little check-in. So, everybody, welcome into Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge podcast. This is this podcast where we basically talk video games, or we talk what's going on in the video game world. If it's esports, or if it's topics where you can't play certain music in your stream, or if one video game company is suing another. We're going to talk about all that today. And then we're going to have a fun conversation called This or That. So we always find out things we may not want to know about one another, or something that was either TMI. You'd be like, man, that's too much information for me, bro. We find that out through this or that. And then we talk about game releases, games that either we want to play or we are playing, or we recommend that you play here on the stream. And then we talk about what's on stream. We lost Brock there for a minute. He'll be back. I know his camera technology is always tricky, but we talk about what's on stream, what shows, what limited documentaries, what movies we're catching on all those streaming apps out there that the world has created to basically make a sentiment where we don't move on from the couch and from our house. 2020 it worked out, but not 2021. I'm trying to stay busy. I want to keep up and moving. And then we obviously have a great conversation with our two guests here today. The brothers, Vereen, are in the house. So it's good to have them, and we get to find out what they've been doing since their football days. We're actually teammates in another in another world. So I'm happy to talk about that today. So to check in real quick from last week's episode, and I'm looking at the run of show here. I'm like, Ben, are we on 77? Or are we on like 80? Because I know Notorious, she sent the graphic over, and the graphic said 80. I was like, how many episodes are we in? Is it 77 or is it 80?
That's 77.
we're somewhere. We're roughly in the. We just round that thing. We're 77 to 80 episodes in. Yeah. So we've been doing that for a little bit, almost 2 years now. We get to the top of this year, or to the bottom of this year, we'll be rolling into 2 years of this show, which has been going great. And so, I myself, like I said, I've been I'm froed out right now. Couldn't get to the barbershop.
The natural growing out. I like that.
Yeah, I know Drew's gonna see. Yeah, I definitely letting it go. I know Drew's gonna see this. Be like, what's going on? What's Ahman doing? I'm like, no, I just couldn't make it to the braider, to the barbershop. One of them days.
Rock did before we jumped on here. How do those headphones fit him on?
Hey, thank God that Lucid Sound LS. Little shout out to my people Chris and Tim. They got the little extended, part that comes off and it goes up and down. Boom, boom. I don't know if it's getting blocked out.
Hey,
but
did you ever have your hair that long when you was playing and had to fit your helmet over all that hair?
Yes, I did. Yeah. In college at Nebraska and in Green Bay, I did. I had a little afro. I was getting braids, and every now and then I'd be like, look, I don't want to do the braids. So I had that extra cushion.
There you go.
In the helmet, which actually felt good. It felt really good. I could hit more.
Back when I actually had hair, I had a big fro too, and it just fit. It just came right on. It was nice.
Extra snug fit,
Yeah, I like it.
So like I said, I've been kind of hanging at the house. I had a good friend, a kid that I used to train. He's a little, he's about early 20s, and so when he was in high school, he flew out to Green Bay, and I trained him a little bit. He's a football player, running back. He basically he's built like Jerome Bettis built, big kid, but can run the football. He's from, we both call the desert. He's from Boron, California. So if you could find Boron, I'll give you a cookie. I'll give you a cookie if you could find it, or I'll send you some headsets.
Is it near like the Mojave?
Yes,
Near the
yes.
yeah.
Ooh, you're close. Yes, you nailed it.
I mean, I've never even heard of it, and I'm from California.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Boron.
Yeah, boring. Man, when he said that, and then me growing up there, me being there a lot,
Yeah.
I was like, that has to be between Vegas and LA. I was like, that's got to be in the desert. He said, sure enough, it's like the start of the Mojave Desert.
Boron just sounds like it's like 150 degrees
Yes,
year round.
it is. It's basically a mineral. They named it. That's when you know you're in a small town, when they name your town after the mineral that is found there. And so I can't remember what the mineral. He said it. He explained it to me years ago, but I got to Google it. I don't know what boron is, but I know it's a chemical. It's on the chemical chart, the mineral chart, and everything. So he came in, and so my man, he's a football fan. Obviously, we watched college football. We watched NFL football. We actually went to the Monday night Packer game against the Lions, which was great for experience for him. He hasn't really. That was actually his second game that he ever experienced here. And then,
question for you. Did you stay at the game when it started raining?
Oh yeah, we were there the whole game.
Oh, okay.
We stayed through.
Okay.
Yeah, he wanted to. I do. No. Hold up.
Okay.
Now, if I would have done what I usually do when I go home, when I go to a Packer home game, regardless of the score, I'm in the third quarter. I'm out.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm start watching the game from my phone as I'm leaving the stadium because I'm trying to beat traffic. Okay. I'm speaking real life right now. Because when you leave a stadium, I don't care where you're at, the number one thing on your mind is avoid traffic. I don't want to get stuck on the freeway. I don't want to get stuck on some road. Let me get out of the area as fast as possible. So, but for him, he's like, man, I want to see that game. I'm like, oh, no problem. So we stayed, watched the whole game, the rain and everything. Came ready, brought my jacket, so I was prepared. Because I saw the forecast, and it's just because my wife, though, because I never watched the forecast. Just letting you know, full disclosure. I just let the weather surprise me. Yeah. Basically, here in the Midwest.
And the way I look at it is like the easiest job in America is to be a meteorologist, right? Or to be a weather person. Because you never have to be right.
No.
You never have to be right. You know what I mean? So you wake up in the morning and they say it's going to be 75 and sunny. 2 o'clock rolls around and there's a thunderstorm. They're like, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't see it on the radar.
Right. It could get, like you said, 50% of the time they're wrong. And they still got a job. Now, if you have that percentage doing any other job, most likely you're fired.
Well, yeah, unless you're a baseball player.
True.
You only have to get a hit 3 out of 10 times, and you're the best hitter on the team.
Very true. Very true. Here, I'm looking in the Twitch chat, and Big B says boron is in peanuts. I'm like, what's that mean? I gotta figure it out. You gotta help me out with that, Big B. And then Big B just asked where Brock.
Second time.
There you go. They were just asking for you, Brock. Some of my Twitch,
I'm trying to figure out what's the point of paying taxes if this is just gonna cut off, man.
The internet, yes. Oh my God, that's the one thing I call AT&T I stopped calling them because they just was not helping me get a bigger broadband to come through this home, and I'm paying extra so I could feel the pain there. There, Brock. So yeah, I don't get it. So yeah, we watched. So beyond the football, we actually chilled the rest of the weekend. We watched a little bit of college football, but my man, I'm a movie guy, guys. Ben knows this. Shane Brock, you know this. I'm big time in the movies. And he's like, oh, I hadn't seen the Godzilla movies. I said, what? I said, you haven't seen Godzilla and Kong and Godzilla King of Monsters and Skull Island? You haven't seen none of that? He's like, no. I'm like, oh, I know what we doing this whole weekend. We binging all the Godzilla movies.
Can I be honest?
What's up?
Can I have a moment of transparency?
What's up? Okay, go. What's up? What you got to say about Godzilla and King Kong?
If we're gonna talk about movies about like big monsters and like in that realm of the sci-fi of King Kong, Godzilla, all that. Godzilla, the weakest one of them all.
Explain. I gotta know why. I gotta know why.
Arms, bruh. His arms is so tiny.
Yeah, he got these right here.
In Jurassic Park, were they afraid of the T-Rex or the raptors?
The raptors all day.
Raptor, right?
Yep.
So what
That's
does
a
Godzilla
good
do?
point.
Let's just make a big old lizard T-Rex, and the movies are terrible. Let's just make a big old T-Rex, and then all of a sudden in the new Godzilla, now he can spray out like.
Well, he could always do that.
nuclear chemicals.
He could always do that
hey.
though, but it was just bad special
To
effects
Shane's
back
point,
in the
though.
'80s.
To
movie's
Shane's
just trash,
point.
bro.
To Shane's point, though. To Shane's point, they wouldn't have to give him all those superpowers in the first place if he was an actual threat. They had to add stuff on, which is only fair. Only fair.
To your, I agree with the points because when you're watching it, you know, we obviously I recently watched all 4 movies, and what I noticed about compare King Kong to Godzilla, King Kong had personality. You know, he's grunting, but you could tell, he's saying pretty much. He's conversating without conversating. And then he's picking up things. Like he'll pick up a tree, clear off the branches, and he got a knife, basically, or a spear.
That's all I'm saying.
You know?
That's all I'm saying.
Like when you're dealing with King Kong, things just got real. You're like, he just ripped the tree out, took the stump off, and said, I'm about to stab you and then throw you across the planet.
In Skull Island, if it weren't for those 2-armed 3.
Oh,
whatever those things were.
The skull monsters. They was called the skull monster. Yeah. Oh, everybody was dead.
If there were no skull monsters, everyone's done. You ain't getting off this island.
True. All right. We got the definition. All right, from the Twitch chat. So yeah, boron. It's known for peanuts. And then Eeyore says so many.
What are we talking about?
About the boron. We're going back to boron real quick. And then also Eeyore says boron is a flaky metal. It's on the right side of the periodic table. So bam. So the city is known for peanuts, and then a flaky metal that's on the right side of the periodic table. Just want a full disclosure there.
I like my peanuts without the metal.
Right. Right.
I like them the way George Washington Carver used to use them, you know.
Right.
Organic.
Oh man. So yeah, that was my check in there. Ben, what you got cooking, man? What's going on since last episode?
I went up to see my baby brother who's still in college at UW Stevens Point, so that was cool to see him.
Wow.
Thing. And then I'm watching Monday Night Football because, of course, it's the Packers.
Right.
Sometimes I get a little tired of the guys, Steve Levy and whoever else is doing it this year with him, Brian Greasy. So I go to that alternative broadcast on ESPN2 with Peyton and Eli.
Yeah,
I've been forgetting to check that out.
Me too. I forgot too. I didn't know where to find it.
It's on ESPN2. It's on ESPN2.
I gotta check that out.
And it's at the same exact time as the regular broadcast, and it's so much better. I mean, like,
because it's us, it's players.
Yeah.
Let's start there first.
But like, it's informal, but at the same time, it's more formal. Like, it's more information. They're just kicking it, chilling, throwing jokes back and forth. But because it's not so like formatted the way TV is, you have to say this and then get out. So like the play goes, and then you have to wait. You have to lay out when there's this, that, and the third. They just talk and they can get into so many more of the specific details about football that like the casual viewer never really hears, or that you never really get a chance to even say. Right. Like when I'm calling games, I don't even have a chance to really get into like the intricate details because you only have so much time to talk.
Correct.
In my opinion, it's the future of what broadcasting will be when it comes to the big football games.
All right. Peyton Manning and Eli don't need no more money though. They good. Just saying.
You might be right.
They could pass that to us. We could do it.
Yeah.
Give it to ESPN. Give it to Shane Brock and I and Ben and John. We can handle this. We could, we understand Twitch. We already work here. We good. They don't have to come in our Twitch. They can have.
You're not wrong.
They got super. Shane. How many Super Bowl rings you have?
Just one.
All right, so that's good. That's good. That's good because Eli and Peyton got that. They got all the and MVPs on top of that. So. They good. We could give the little guy, give the running back something. Running backs and DBs, come on, man.
Why is the running back position we get devalued? You know what I mean? We get little drop off passes, run for 30 yards, and it's passing yards. Like quarterback just pitched it to me, and it's a pass.
It's a reception. Like, huh?
Come on, bro. Come on, man. We gotta sit down and change it. I said that on the air last week, actually.
Oh, nice.
There was like a little pitch, and originally they put it as like a pass, and I'm like, Why? He pitched it a yard and a half.
They try and pad those
and then
stats.
the running back did all the work. I'm like, it's just the brand of football that we're in these days.
All right. What you got, Ben?
Ben, were you satisfied with the Monday Night Football performance of your Packers?
I was a lot happier than the game against the Saints. I don't know if I'm so happy. See, this is it's so challenging being a Packers fan for this reason, okay? I understand how, I don't know what the right word is, lucky we were to have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back.
Yeah.
But me coaching football on top of playing football, it is a struggle to me sometimes to continue to watch Aaron Rodgers. Now, he'll make some amazing throws, but I think he's forgetting that as he gets up there in age, some of the things he used to be able to do, like throw off of 1 foot or jump in the air and throw with no feet on the ground, I don't know if he can do those things anymore. But I don't know if Aaron is somebody that's willing to listen either to people. So I'm very grateful because he's still playing at a high level and he's still doing really good things for the Packers.
I'll say, yeah, he still looks like he could jump and throw the ball. He still looks like he got the nice little ponytail. I like the long hair. I like the ponytail, because obviously I got the fro going.
Ben, I'm going to ask you this, only you, because I know Shane's answer and Ahman is too close to the organization. When we say this is the last year of Aaron Rodgers as a Packer, it sounds like he's in Denver or Oakland next year, whatever it may be.
Yep.
In your opinion, do you think the Packers as an organization did enough to maximize his talent over the past 12 years?
No, I do not think they. I think literally this is Brett Favre 2.0. I don't think they have surrounded him with enough talent. And I have a friend who's a diehard fan, and every time during the game, he continues to, in this group chat we have, throw out there the list of draft choices from the Green Bay Packers. It's actually 3rd-round draft choices as they just dropped or they cut Chase or Jay Sternberger the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, they did cut him. Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, they cut him. It's rough from draft choices. And then somebody, Pat McAfee joined that Monday Night
Yeah,
Football.
I saw that. Pat was on it. He's crazy. Pat's off the chain.
And he said to Peyton, could you imagine playing for a team for as many years as Aaron Rodgers has, and they never asked you about personnel, guys you'd want to sign? Not that they're going to listen to
What was
you.
Peyton's answer?
Peyton goes, no, I can't believe it. I can't.
Right.
Who was his GM in Indy?
Ursay. It was Ursay. Polian. It was Ursay.
Ursay, I think, is the
owner,
the top dog.
Oh, he's the owner, and then Polian was a GM. Right. Yeah.
And Peyton said after my first year, he sat down with me, and we talked about guys that I want to bring in, guys I'd like to see on the team. Because I knew that he wasn't going to listen to everything I said, but it was nice to feel like I had a voice, in the team. So no, to answer the question, Brock, I do know that they put enough talent around him, but at the same time, I'm okay if they move on from Aaron Rodgers after this year. I really am. I'm okay with that because being a smaller market team and not having an owner, and I know there's a salary cap, all the structures in the NFL, but we have to, in Green Bay, look toward the future. We have to kind of what we do with the Patriots. They let a guy go maybe a year too early, 2 years too early, but you have to do that sometimes, especially as you're trying to build for the future. Just my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to that ring was 2010 or 2011 over the Steelers.
Exactly.
2011. It was 2010 season, but 2011 Super Bowl.
2010 season, 2011 Super Bowl. If you go back there and you say, okay, you have we'll call him 27-year-old Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, they're going to keep surrounding him with talent. If you asked me then how many rings would he get in Green Bay, I would have said 3 or 4. And I fear that, say Aaron Rodgers retired after this season, I fear that his legacy will be what could have been if they gave him the help that it's like the Bucks having Giannis, realizing they have a generational talent and then just not surrounding him with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think you have to realize this is a once in a lifetime type of guy. Put the pedal to the metal, spend whatever money, however long, whatever it takes, because you don't just stumble across Aaron Rodgers again. I hate that his legacy will be, of course, the Super Bowl, but also what could have been if they gave him what he deserved.
Yeah, and the Packers have had 30 years of Hall of Fame quarterback play, and they have 2 rings to show.
Yeah.
Perfectly summed up. Yeah.
All right. We got we started the pod. We started the stream as a video game podcast, but now we're talking Packer football. Just letting y'all know, full disclosure here. To the Twitch chat here to go back. Hold on, I gotta rewind a little bit to the Twitch chat. Eeyore says, Ahman. He said, "Time to kill the feed. Godzilla is Godzilla. King Kong is a super big gorilla." All right, and then we're kind of like, and he also says we're kind of going like on Dodgeball, the movie, ESPN, the Ocho. We're like the Ocho right now. I like that comment from Eeyore there. And Rome Freak said, "What's up? What's up, Rome Freak? How you doing?" And we got some agreement there to Ben's comment about agreed FAR 2.0. Where you're not maximizing and giving my man the weapons that he needs to put that ball in the air and win games. So yeah, all the good chat here, and we got a lot of Packer talk now. We didn't start the ball rolling here. What's up, Ben? What you got?
I brought up that alternative Monday Night Football broadcast because they have people jump in via Twitch or whatever,
right?
Not Twitch, or Zoom, and Favre joined him this past week.
Oh, yeah.
And they were I mean, this was a joke about how he was the originator of the RPOs because he would just scramble his own thing. And
I could vouch for that.
Yeah, underhand. So they showed a clip of Ahman Favre rolling out and
Minnesota game.
Yeah, and he just underhands the ball, and Ahman dives in the corner of the end zone and catches it. So it's cool to see my buddy AG.
Yeah, so it was a good thing Dorsey had warned me. So, Dorsey Levens was still on the squad. He was the starter. And so that game, it was just so happened I was in the game. And during the week and during this trading camp, he would tell me all the time. He would pull me. He's like, AG, come here. We'd be sitting there talking, me getting used to the team, getting used to Brett throwing balls. He's like, hey, the one good thing, two things about Brett. He said, when you throw us the ball, being a running back, we're not that far from him. So we don't have to worry about a bullet pass. You don't have to worry about getting your fingers broke. He said, so that's one. He said, but the other thing, it's like playing street ball. You just got to be ready for whatever. I mean, he might, like we were talking just about pitches being passes. You might be expecting a pitch and he shot the gun that thing to you, so you just got to be ready for whatever. And so on that play, it was what was it? I think it was 8-6. So basically a quick flat play for me to get to the flat right away. No blitz responsibility. And I was ready, as a running back coming out, you ready for this to see that motion, and he's getting pursued, and when he's running the ball, he dropped it below his waist, and I'm like, okay, this ball is about to come different. Okay, let me get ready for it. So I was like, all right, underhand pitch. Here we go, boom. I was like, man, I said, just catch the ball. Don't worry about how it comes to me.
Yeah,
catch the rock. So now I say I'm officially bringing y'all in. We've been talking Packer football for a good 5-10 minutes here, but I'm officially bring my new teammates in from the last couple years we all work for a company called ESTV. I've talked to all my greenies. So the greenies, some of the usual suspects here in my Twitch chat, I call them my greenies here on my channel, guys. So you know that. So my greenies know about what I've been doing with ESTV and what we've been doing with ESTV and growing that channel. There on Samsung Plus, and it lives in a lot of places right now. I kind of lost the list of the names. I just say Samsung Plus. At least I know it's on Samsung. If you have a brand new Samsung TV, go to Samsung Plus. We're like channel 13, I think it's 1317 or something
57.
like that. Or 57. There you go. Different channels. There you go. We're in there. And look for ESTV. But these guys came in same time I came in. We were both brought in by a guy by the name of I'm going blank right now. Mark Watts. And he introduced us all to Eric Yoon, who is the CEO of ESTV, who's done it before. He developed a Korean channel called 2K24, and then another one that actually broadcasts nationwide here in the United States. And he had done the esports, channel stuff before, but now is delving back into it now hardcore, because as we know, as gamers, as we know, as I know, and everybody in the Twitch chat know, it's esports is here. It's here to stay, and it's growing. And it, obviously, just like traditional sports, there's other avenues of things to talk about in terms of esports, of video games, the developers, the companies, the competition, and obviously what the gamers do beyond, when they're not playing their game. So, myself, Shane, and Brock, we all understood it because we're gamers. You know, even though we played football for a living, we banged around and got hit, but then on our downtime, we were grabbing a controller. And now, because of me, these two guys have PCs in their homes now. Because I told them, that was like our first conversation. I said, guys, y'all have a PC? They were like, no. I'm like, you got to get a PC. I was like, y'all got to get PCs. And they both have them now. They got, look at, you got, like my man Shane got a mic, you know, he got the headsets. I'm loving it. I'm like, yes, big brother. I done helped them out get into the game. So guys, how are you guys doing?
Hey man, I'm good. I can't complain. Yeah, the first time I saw the PC, it was in the office at ESTV, and you actually had like the laptop version.
Yeah, I had actually the one I'm on right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, they make laptops too? I was like, okay, you know, if it's gonna help me get more kills, it's gonna help me score more points. Then I might need to go ahead and make the switch. And I'll tell you what, though, it's been the best investment that I've made in a long time. It's everything I hope for and more.
Right, or help you how to stream. I say you're gonna have to stream. You're gonna have to jump on the mic. You already do it with your jobs that you do now. So let everybody in the stream know what, you know. We'll start with Brock. What you're doing now, because you're both basically still doing, you know, the traditional side of shoutcasting, which is broadcasting sports. So let's start with Brock telling us what you're doing, and hand it off to Shane from there.
Yeah, outside of ESTV with the Big Ten Network. So I do the pregame show. We're on site. We're on campus. Thankfully, COVID restrictions allow us to still be on campus. So we are on at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you're on the West Coast, go ahead, set that alarm for 6:55. Get up at 7. And yeah, so this let's see. Our first week we were at Iowa on campus, right in front of the stadium, leading into Iowa and Indiana. Second week we're at Michigan State. This past week we were at Michigan. And tomorrow night I'll get on a red eye and fly out to Penn State. And yeah, we do the pregame show. We kind of run through the Big Ten schedule, if you will, for that day, what we expect to happen, and it's a blast, man. Cannot complain one bit.
Nice. Because I remember when we started working together with ESTV, you were doing like the Coca-Cola.
I was doing the high school games.
Was it high school? Yeah. But you were doing the interviews with college, with pro players.
Well.
Yes. I remember you interviewing Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. You interviewed a lot of running backs, which was great.
A lot of running backs.
Reminiscing about their college days. So tell us what was that little sizzle reel called? It was some with Coca-Cola, correct? Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a company called Campus Lore.
That's right.
And we got to, we got access to really anybody in the NFL. It was fun because thanks to the NIL now, college athletes can now rightfully
get paid,
monetize their college experience. Yeah. But before that, you couldn't. So really, you had to talk to NFL guys to talk about their college experiences. But it was a blast, man. The stories that we got and just meeting everybody was incredible. While I was doing that, I was broadcasting the high school games out here in Southern California with Fox. And now that has led to the pregame show with Big Ten Network. So football kind of seems to be the focal point of everything.
Nice. I saw that. I was like, oh, you're in a different little setup now. I like it. I was like, moving on up. My man Brock is moving on up.
Man. Trying.
Okay.
We are trying.
Gotcha. All right, Shane, what you got cooking, man? What's going on with you?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously ESTV, and now it's been getting so busy, man. It's exciting though.
Right.
Super busy. Of that, yeah. The fall is typically my busy time, so I'll do NFL radio every now and then on Sirius NFL channel, and then I call games for Pac-12 Network this year. I have my third game this weekend. I'll be in Seattle. I got Cal, my alma mater, against UW. But it's fun, man. And if I'm not calling games, then I'll do the Pac-12 After Dark studio show, which is late.
Oh,
but yeah.
So y'all can have some fun on there since After Dark. That's what After Dark. After Dark basically says anything goes. We can make it happen, man. Exactly. Keep the party going.
Yeah, and that's why I like it so much is because it's laid back. We're just chilling on couches and really just talking about the games that had happened that day. And so yeah, so that's kind of what I have going on right now. And then new stuff pops up every spring and summer, and then the fall is typically the same.
Yep, same here. Because I'm I know Ben. Shoot, if you want to join me, I'm doing a podcast with Mike Wall. He was one of my offensive guards here in Green Bay, so I just started that podcast. And of course, we've been breaking down the Packers, and that's been fun conversation for 2 weeks. You get Saints stomp a mud hole in them they destroy. Well, I'll say beat the Lions. The Lions actually played pretty good there towards the end of Monday Night Football. So here in the Twitch chat, the Greenies are getting restless because we got to get to the gaming questions. So a question that y'all answered when we did our first shoutcasting up in Tacoma, and it basically was how we always ask the question is your gaming origin story. Who got you gaming? Who was it? What game it was, or games, and how old were you? And then obviously, then y'all could go into basically who dominated the Vereen household. So I know it's a few questions in there. So the first question is, what game did you start gaming on when you were younger?
Okay, I'm gonna start this one just because I'm older, and so it's because well, not only because of that, but because I started playing. Obviously, I started playing before Brock did.
Right.
But when I don't know how, I was probably in kindergarten, so like 5 or 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
6, somewhere around there, maybe first grade. But I remember we were in our old house, and I had a TV in my closet, and we had a Sega Genesis. I had a Sega Genesis
in the closet. What's up? I got.
Hey man,
I didn't know that.
Humble beginning, sir.
Okay. So at least had a plug in there. You had electricity.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had it hooked up. I don't know why it was in there, because that was the only time I was ever allowed to have a TV in my room growing up. But anyways, I had it. And the first 2 games that I remember are Sonic and this other game that we used to play called Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh! Yeah. I played that. Toe Jam and Earl's off the chain. Hey, that's the go hard in the paint. Yes, it did. I agree.
We need to bring that one back. That
what?
Go.
They got to bring it back to next gen. Yeah, they got to do next gen.
Yeah.
That was a dope game. That was fun.
Those were, as far as I can think back, those were the first 2 games. And then I think when Brock kind of got old enough and we started playing, N64 was big.
Okay.
What was the first? What was that? What was the NFL game?
NFL Quarterback Club '98.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
I think it was like either Phil Sims or Brett was on the cover. Okay, it was Brett. Yep. Okay. Oh man, that's cool. That's cool. So, who was the dominator? Who was the lead honcho?
If we're talking Madden, it was me, of course.
I
had the most dominant Madden run. Madden 07.
They had a dynasty. Was it a dynasty?
A full-on dynasty. I would play as the New York Giants, and I would go I went an entire calendar year without throwing the football. I would go goal line package with Brandon Jacobs and get 6 yards a pop.
Ooh.
The games would be like 7 minutes long because I had to run the ball every play. I'd get 7 yards every time, and I just beat everybody like 14-10. It was miserable to play against me, but that, like, we are talking like Shaq and 02 level of just domination.
So that includes Shane too, not wanting to play against you, right?
Without question. Absolutely.
Oh man, this is great.
I love it.
Hey, you notice how he started at 07. You know what happened in 07? I graduated high school and I left the house.
So you is that what it is?
Hey, I'm just saying, all I know is if we're talking Madden, my favorite Madden was 04. Madden 04.
Was that Michael Vick on the cover?
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Michael Vick was on the cover, and I used him every now and then, but I was a big Niner fan. And
okay, me too.
I would kill people with T.O. Brandon Lloyd was in the slot, and then I think I had JJ Stokes was on the other side.
Yep. It was a problem.
Garrison Hurst was my running back, and Jeff Garcia was the quarter. Bro, I was putting up points. Points. But then in 05, they was the invention of the hit stick in 05.
Yeah.
Was it? I couldn't. bro. I was
but-
getting, I was getting torn up in 05.
With Ray Lewis on the cover, and I mean, if you had a well-timed hit stick, it was a fumble every single time.
Yeah.
I was miserable.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrible. It was
every
horrible.
single time.
It killed my entire offensive scheme. I didn't know what to do. But then I finally got back 06. They had the vision cone in 06.
I hated that
06.
thing. I hated the vision cone.
Nab on the cover.
I hated the vision code.
Yeah.
I was throwing so many interceptions because of that darn thing. Because it basically, if you didn't throw it where you were looking,
Yeah.
it got picked. I was like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Man, get off my line with that one. Get off my line. I don't want to
Get off my lawn.
Like, no, man. What the French toast is wrong with y'all? Y'all tripping.
Yeah.
That was, I love and hate EA. We had last week we had Clint Oldenburg, one of the executive basically producers of EA. So he knows it's a love-hate relationship with that game because of the things they change from week in to week out, trying to adjust to the competition and all that craziness. So with your broadcasting experience from both, where y'all both at right now, what is the hardest thing about sports broadcasting when y'all get ready for a show or an event?
I would say it's tough. Film study is tougher than playing because when you're playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I played defense, so I had to study two things. I had to study our defense and the opposing team's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to study all four because, like I said, when I was playing defense, I didn't care what our offense was doing. I didn't care what the other defense was doing because I wasn't on the field for it. But now having to study all four, it's just a lot. It's just a lot of football. Of course, I love it, but I think I took for granted I only had to worry about one phase of the game previously.
Gotcha. Ben, what you got there? Good there.
Do you guys like doing broadcasts better when you're like on campus or when you're on site, or do you like doing it better when you're like in your studio? Are you kind of creatures of habit, or which one do you enjoy more?
I like being there.
Same.
Yeah. You feel the energy, especially around college football. College football is all energy. And as soon as you arrive at the stadium and you see the fans and you hear the excitement, you get the smell of the grills and the popcorn and everything. I mean, it's such a different experience. You hear the school bands, fight songs. That's what I love that's why I love doing college football. It's just like, it's such an energy. Student sections, everybody's excited, and it's great. For the hardest thing for me, I would say two things. One, kind of off what Brock said, like, I understand offense very well, but like I understand defense from an offensive perspective. Mm-hmm. So when I'm calling a game and I have to really go into detail about why defenses are shifting, my answer is still from an offensive perspective because I played defense in high school, but like I never learned really like gap control, or I never really learned why the safety is dropping low, just so those intricacies
from a defensive side of the ball,
from a defensive standpoint.
Yep.
Other than that, the hardest part is when it's a blowout or when there's like a play that goes nowhere and you have to say something. Really, all you want to say is that was a terrible play call, but you can't say that too many times in a game. So trying to come up with something to say when there's nothing to say.
Yeah, I agree. That is definitely one of the hardest things to do, because I hear guys in commentation, and I'm like, did he just say that? Did he meant to say that? I'm like, what the French toast did he just say? So we have a good question here from the Twitch chat. We got Rome Freak asked. He's just curious. He said, "Do you have to have played professional sports to get into sports broadcasting?"
Not at all.
Not at all. Yeah.
I mean, Stephen A. Smith is a perfect example. That man runs ESPN
and his mouth. He runs. Oh my god.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. But him, Colin Cowherd, like, you just have to know sports, know the game to where your opinion about it makes sense and you can back it up with facts. You can't just say Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback ever
with no
because I
definite.
like him.
Exactly.
Just because I like him, because I'm a Packer, you can't say that. You have to have actual research, and I think it's actually harder for the guys that have never played a sport because their validation comes from that. When you've played a professional sport, your validation is I was a professional in this sport.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say something, it's because I know it. It's because I've been there. I've been in that situation. I've played it. So you don't need as much validation because you are the validation.
Right. Yeah, you got that experience. If I talk about it, what you got, man?
Is it harder for you, Shane, and for you, Brock, to take somebody like Colin Cowherd or Stephen A. Smith seriously because they didn't play the game?
When I was playing, yeah, because because A, I didn't really understand the media space, and B, I just hated their takes because I know when I was even in college and in the pros, when I was in season, I never watched ESPN. I never listened to talk radio. I never paid attention to any of that because more times than not, they're not saying anything that I really would want to hear. And even if they said it, they were probably wrong because they didn't know what was going on in the locker room. Now that I understand media, I understand why they have such strong opinions and why you have to be intriguing and bring viewers in and all that type of stuff. But I used to hate it.
Yeah. And like Stephen A drives me nuts.
Okay.
I was gonna say Stephen A drives me nuts because he like starts slow, he likes quiet, he's all this calm tone. Then within 15 minutes, he's talking like he is yelling at the top of his lungs, and I'm like, Stephen A, bro, I don't even get your points now. What's your point? Because he's yelling like a 5-year-old in the kindergarten class that hasn't had his nap yet. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
My bad. What was you about to say, Brock?
No, yeah, I always have, and to this day, still get frustrated when a media personality who has never been in the locker room talks about locker room stuff, right? Like, have your opinion on Kevin Durant on anything that's publicly shown, right? If he posts something on Instagram you want to talk about, go for it. It's a public thing. His play against the Timberwolves last night, talk about that because that's a public thing. But when you get the people are saying, his locker room is against him. It's like, if you've never been in that locker room, I don't want to hear, you don't know what a locker room against an athlete looks like.
Exactly.
You don't know when a team has given up on a coach. Like you don't know that. You know what I mean? So that always frustrates me. Whereas if Ryan Clark or Joe Thomas or Deion Sanders or
Booger McFarland, I say Booger McFarland, he does a good job.
Say, hey, it looks like this receiver's giving up on his quarterback. Okay, because you know what that looks like. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, I was always frustrated when playing. But then once I stopped playing and started getting into media stuff, you kind of realize it's entertainment. And if you get mad at Colin Cowherd because of what he said about the Cowboys, because he's not a former football player, well, unless you make movies, I don't want to hear what you have to say about the Avengers movies, right? Unless you make music, I don't want to hear what you have to say about the Drake album. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have it both ways.
Right.
So like I said, the super personal stuff that you need to be an athlete to understand, lay off of that. But having an opinion about somebody's performance, it's fair game.
Yeah. Or press the mute button. That's what I do.
Watch another channel.
I press the mute button. I'll be like, come on. I'll be like, but it's really
you hate Stephen A. Smith.
And not that I hate. No, hate is strong. Hate is a strong word.
Okay.
I totally dislike because it's just the yelling and screaming. It doesn't make sense. I get that's his thing. I get it. And like you say, Shane, it's an entertainment thing. That's what brings people back for what he does. That don't work for me. Obviously we don't do that here. Me, Ben, and John, when we're having a good time, we're laughing. If we're loud because we're laughing, somebody said something funny. It's just like, I'm like, dude, where you? I'm like, come on, Stephen A. I know you a smart guy. I know you highly intelligent. Come on, you could do something better. So to go to the Twitch chat real quick. So what's up, Mad Max, fellow Greenie there. We have Roger the Dodger says, I think it's nice. So talking what we were just talking about, in terms of broadcasters and their opinions. So Roger Dodger says, I think it's nice to have a mix of broadcasters because generally the play-by-play guys are much better at hyping it up or keeping it moving, but the former players have good commentary. They bring that in.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
no, I
and
definitely agree with that.
There's a reason why the majority of hosts and like all of your analysts, basketball, hockey, football, soccer, whatever, are former players, and there's a reason why the majority of hosts and play-by-play are classically trained. They went to Northwestern, they went to Syracuse, like they're very much professionals. Just because they're not former players doesn't mean this is not something they worked really hard for. Like go to Mizzou, Syracuse, USC, like those broadcast schools, like that's one, hard to get into,
right?
Two, hard to be at top of your class. You know what I mean? So they earned it for sure. They just didn't learn by being on the field. They learned, from a classroom, which is totally fine.
Yeah,
Right.
and I could never do play-by-play.
Oh,
Like,
Really?
I don't have.
I thought you did. I'll be honest. I thought you did.
I don't have the vocab for play-by-play. I don't have the on-the-spot creativity. Like Gus Johnson is unbelievable.
Yeah, Gus is awesome. Gus
Oh my God.
is
It's
awesome.
incredible.
Sometimes he'll say something you're like, I shouldn't have said that, Gus. But I think he's brilliant in a sense.
Yeah.
Like that play-by-play stuff. I that's too much talking for me. I could not. I
Like
wouldn't be
Gus Johnson does he may do a college basketball game during the week. He's doing the Fox noon kickoff game on Saturday, and then he's doing an NFL game on Sunday, right? Say what you want about him. Say what you want about Joe Buck. He's doing a World Series baseball game on Wednesday, and then on Thursday he's doing a Thursday night football game, and then Friday he's back at Dodger Stadium doing a World Series. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I don't care what people say
That's
about
right.
like, that's hard. That is really, really hard to do, and to make it interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely a grind. So something that y'all experienced for the first time with me a couple of years ago, like I mentioned already, was that first shoutcasting event for y'all. So how was that experience up there in Tacoma at Lewis Base? Was it Joint Lewis McCord Air Force Base? How was that? So we're talking about commentating, but obviously in the esports world, how was that first experience? And what was some things that y'all be like, okay, I got to do this, next time if we, when we do this, because we did, later on that year. So how was that first experience?
Well, I mean, I was like, the shoutcasting stuff makes me nervous, man. But luckily luckily we were doing Madden.
Yeah, we did, man. Yeah, that was an easy
Madden,
thing.
so that made it easier for me. But it was definitely a new experience. It was fun. I remember me and Brock did a just from the house, but we did like a collegiate Rocket League shoutcasting.
Oh, nice.
And I didn't really know much about shoutcasting or much about Rocket League. So I'm watching like YouTube videos about Rocket League. Right. And then I'm like,
Good move there. Yeah. Good job.
and for being honest, I took a shot of tequila right before just to lose
that.
Yeah. But like it's a whole new world because you don't want to just be out there and just saying just regular stuff that anybody could say. You kind of want to have some opinion and some insight.
Right.
And so when you're jumping into a new space, and you're the voice, it's a little nerve wracking, but it's a learning experience, and I enjoy it, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the things that make in-person traditional broadcasting, right, like a non-esports event, easier is because say somebody makes an incredible one-handed touchdown grab, like an Odell Beckham type catch. Mm-hmm. You could stumble over your words. You could say the wrong thing, but because you're excited and people are feeding off the energy in the crowd, it's okay, right? But with esports, what makes it difficult is if you're watching on Twitch at home, you're not seeing the crowd, right? You're seeing the animated crowd, but so with shoutcasting, I always have to remind myself, you have to bring the energy because there's no shots of the Iowa student section going crazy. There's no shots of the players on the sideline going nuts that you can feed off of. So you have to deliver that as well. That's I think that was the biggest hurdle for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's something because I remember y'all were at the table. I had to roam around a little bit, do some some
You had
B
to
roll.
shoot like a 3-minute intro in one take or something.
Right, I was doing B roll. Yeah, I was doing all that. You know, I was like, yeah, I've done these before. And as soon as I said that, I was like, oh man, what they gonna have? They had me doing everything, which was good. You know, it gives me that same type of experience there. So we're gonna switch lanes a little bit. A couple more questions here. For the most important question between brothers here, who was the better football player?
I'm giving it to him. The guy has a Super Bowl ring without question. I will say this though, I would love to see I would love to see him in a Big Ten offense against Big Ten defenses, and I would love one game going against. I mean, we played USC, but like a season playing in the Pac-12 because, as you know, Ahman, obviously Nebraska was in the Big 12, but you guys played a run dominant type of football. It's amazing how different a game it is. Like I would watch Shane's games whenever I wasn't playing and when he was at Cal, and seeing Washington State go out there and throw the ball 60 times, and then I'm playing Wisconsin that night and they're gonna throw the ball 13 times. Like it's just such a different. It's such a different game. So that's what I would love to see.
Oh, okay. Good answer. I'll say good. You know,
I would say that we were brothers, obviously, but very, very different football players. Where our build is different.
Right. Offense, defense.
Defense. Brock's taller and leaner. You know, I kind of have my dad's build where I'm like 5'10", but like bulky, stronger. So I think that kind of that's good. So I'm not saying one was better than the other, but we were just different players. There were things that I would see him do when he was like 8, 9 years old. One thing that's really jumps out to me was he had a run. He was at running back at the time, and he had a run up the middle, went through the line, broke out to the right, was one-on-one with the corner, but the safety came from an angle that I didn't think he saw him. Brock spun move on both of them, and it scored. And I'm filming, and I'm watching from the end zone because it was Pop Warner, so my game was after his. Yeah, and I was like, oh, how did he just do that? You know, like
nice.
I've never done that before. And I thought I was pretty good at the time. You know, so I can't say. I think he did some things that better than me, and vice versa. I think I did some things that better than him. But we were just
100%.
We were pretty different players.
Right. Oh yeah, great. Oh yeah, I like that. Especially like for the spin move. I saw that. I'd be like, hey, bro, you gotta teach me. You gotta teach me that one.
Oh man, how do you do that?
I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't big into spinning, but if I see something impressive, I'm like, all right, look, hey, we got to go in the backyard. You got to show me this one. Right here. All right. Next, I know Ben got a question up here for y'all right here at the bottom.
I was gonna ask you guys. I saw on Twitter that you guys were part of a celebrity poker tournament. How did that go? Is it poker? You good at poker?
Well, seeing as I was the first person out of the tournament, my philosophy on any card game, whether it is an online tournament, which was awesome, Rob Gonzalez puts on the tournaments that we're happy to
from UGL, UGL.
So shout out to Rob for putting that on, and there'll be more in the future. When I look at anything, any card game, dice game, Vegas casino game, right? I just push it to the limit because my thinking is this: so much of it is based on luck. Yes, there's strategy. You know, not everything is roulette or craps where it's all luck.
Right.
But I still think of it as so much of it is out of my control. I'm just gonna push it to the limit because statistically, the longer I'm here, the more things I can screw up. So I was all in from the start. I said I'm putting all in, and things were looking good. But the problem with going all in on every hand is when things go bad.
Yeah,
they go really bad. I think I was in that tournament for like 3.5 minutes.
Oh man, that was quick. Oh man,
it was bad.
I mean, it was bad. Play card games right in the locker room and on, longer trips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We used to play this game called Boo or Boo Ray.
Oh, Boo-ray, gotcha.
Yeah.
If I say Boo, I don't know Boo-ray. Yes, there you go.
Yeah, Boo Ray. That game gets expensive, but
Yeah.
I've noticed like as I think God, when he created me, what he did was he said, okay, I'm gonna give you athletic ability and you're gonna be smart. But when it comes to anything that has to do with gambling, you're just gonna not have that.
That's a good thing. At least you know.
Yeah. So I learned some of my first couple times in Vegas, 21, first time in Vegas. Hey, no, I don't win when I gamble. I don't win. I've never walked away from a gambling situation and been like, yeah, I really took their money. No, so I've trained myself to be like, okay, if I'm in Vegas or if I'm playing poker, all right, am I trying to win or am I just trying to hang out and enjoy for a little bit? And because I know I'm not gonna win money. I know I'm not. Like it just never happens. So
yeah. That's why I stay away from like poker, blackjack, craps. Everyone's kind of on the same team, but anything where my decisions can affect your hand, nobody should sit next to me at blackjack or poker because I'm pushing everything to the limit. Unless I have 21, I'm hitting. I'm ruining everybody's game. So
people are mad at you.
Money, I'm losing people hate sitting next to me at Vegas. 19 hit. Ma'am, I said hit. Now hit. Go.
Man, those people get diabolical. They get diabolical. They get mad.
I'm here to get 21. That's it.
Right. I see people get seriously mad when somebody is hitting or shouldn't be hitting. Oh, people go off. They go off.
Yeah.
Oh man. So in the chat here we got Rome Freak says blackjack is easy to win. There's real easy methods of card counting. So he's trying to be like Rain Man up in there. We got to be careful.
He's trying to get me drugged in the back with the guys.
Right, you don't want that.
The track suits.
Nah.
To smash my hand with
and they say forget about it. That's when they say that. And they got, like you said, I got a hammer and no, you're like, all right, we good. Time out. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. I wasn't trying to do that.
Now I'm out there in the middle of Death Valley about to dig my own grave.
Right, no, don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. All right. So real quick, let everybody know what's coming down the line for y'all in the next. I know we got the season of commentating going on, but what's along with that, what's coming up between now and the start of the new year.
Ooh, I mean, really not much. Hanging out with my daughter. Got an 8-month-old at home.
Hey. We got Uncle Brock over here and got Daddy Shane.
Best job in the world. Best job in the world.
I'm trying to get my KD up on Warzone.
I hear you. They get that KDA, yes sir.
Amar, I gotta ask you, how did you manage with your kids to continue to keep your game sharp?
What I did was, obviously they had school, so between obviously getting them off to bed at school, so I would put them like when my kids were looking. My kids are grown now, but when I was playing, that's when I had them, and so I would get them into bed by between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. So that gave me a good hour and a half because I try to go to bed around 11:30 during the week. So I had to get a good hour and a half in. A bad night was basically nothing. But a good night, I would get the full hour and a half of gameplay of some Halo or Madden. Back then, even now, it's the same thing. Now I have no kids, so that's why I stream, and then I can play my Madden and my Halo. That's the best. So you got to figure out that time because they got to get to bed. They got to get that sleep. Keep them babies, especially when they under the age of 1, get that sleep down. So then mommy and you can have a great night of rest yourself and get ready for the next day. But then also that game time too could get in there. You can sneak that in on mama. Like, hey babe, I'm gonna go do this real quick.
Yeah.
Come on, I'll be back in 2 hours. You can be down there all night long. So
not too much, man. Just not too much after the season. Just enjoying life and getting ready for next year and make sure ESTV's in the right spot.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, the football season is in full swing. So this is the not the focus, but it is a focus. And then ESTV, of course, big things coming down the pipeline that we will be excited to announce soon. Just maintaining, man. Hopefully, this COVID thing will hopefully behave a little bit, and we can, get a little more. I only really, I mean, I haven't outside of work, I haven't left the state for fun other than like one time in the last year and a half. That's kind of frustrating. Hopefully, can sneak out somewhere for Christmas or something like that. But ESTV and football, two things that I enjoy a lot. So
Nice. Same here. So on the screen there for everybody in the Twitch chat, we have their Twitter and Instagram where you can follow them and check them out. And I know Shane, or actually they both do a good job putting any recent videos of them in their jobs doing their sports broadcasting, their pregame leading into the game they're covering for college football. So I know they do a good job with that. So check out Brock on Brock and Shane on Instagram and Twitter. And I know we got a little bit of time for Ben, if he could do this or that I know he has to run. So we could take us to this or that, Ben, and so you guys can have some fun.
Yes.
do it.
Or that.
All right. No John Audience this week. I'm not used to hosting this segment.
Yeah.
Everything up. All right. So we always start this or that by letting everybody know these questions are straight from the mind of Ahman because they may be weird, they may be funky, they may be whatever. So.
Oh God.
I wake up in the middle of the night just writing things down.
There we
Like,
go.
oh.
All right.
All right. So the first one isn't that bad. Would you rather be stuck on an elevator or would you rather be stuck on a ski lift? Ahman, why don't you show them how it's done?
All right. So I've been to Vail or Aspen a few times and definitely would not be one stuck in on a ski lift because of the weather factor. I have been stuck in an elevator and it's not that bad. So elevator all day, every day. When it's below and cold on the mountain, no, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. People will freeze to death, okay? Will not do that. So elevator, I will take the elevator being stuck in there. Done it before. Thank God for cell phone and reception. It worked. So there you go.
All right. Go ahead, bro.
What you got?
Ski lift.
Really?
Ski lift. Elevator short-sighted. You do not say how long we're stuck there. We're stuck for a long time. What happens when you got to go to the bathroom? Now I got to establish a pee corner? Nah.
Yeah,
I'm on a ski lift. I got a bunch of air down below me. Ski lift.
I'm establishing a pee corner. I'm gonna bust a hole in the wall. Like, hey.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going elevator because me and heights aren't the best of friends. And if I'm up on that ski lift and like a slight breeze comes and that ski lift starts to swing and I'm looking down and like I got skis or a snowboard attached to me and I'm like, this can only go one of two ways and both are bad. So I'd rather establish a pee corner or piss myself than be stuck on a ski lift.
Oh, man. All right, there we go. So Big B says elevator. He does not want to freeze to death. Bam. Another point there. Boom for Big B in the Twitch chat. All right, next one there. Ben, did you go?
No, I did not
Yeah.
do it.
Go.
I'm claustrophobic. So give me the ski lift all day. If I'm stuck in an elevator, man, I'm going crazy. I could not do that. So, all right, our next
Right call, Ben.
Thank you, Brock. All right, so this or that, this is where it gets a little funky.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather have nobody show up to your wedding, or would you rather have nobody show up to your funeral?
Wedding, because you know how much money you just saved? You know how much money you just saved? Wedding.
Bam! Good point.
Yeah, wedding.
Good point. What you got, Shane?
I had to talk this one out. Okay. If no one's at my funeral, I'll never know.
You will. There is the afterlife, bro.
Yeah, but it does mean that I clearly was a terrible person.
Or just a bad communicator, Maybe it was just that.
Yeah, I didn't communicate what the funeral was. Yeah, the time, wrong date.
Oh man.
I would say, yeah, I'd rather have nobody show up to my wedding. Yeah.
Okay, Ben, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was tough because if nobody shows up,
Wait. Sorry. Hold on. Is this meaning that your spouse does not show up either? I should have clarified that.
I like that. I like that little twist in that. She not.
If that,
It's a runaway
this is a
bride
tougher question
situation.
than I thought.
It's
Yeah,
a
this is
runaway
tougher
bride
question
question
than I
too.
thought.
Yeah, dog, you just threw a curveball there, right there, Brock.
Okay. That's a tough question.
all right. So if anybody show up to my wedding, then I'm not, recouping some of the funds I spent on, wedding gifts. So that would suck. Then I go to 3.2. Like, if nobody shows up to my funeral, I must have been a pretty crappy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough, man. I think I'm gonna have to go with wedding too. I think I'm gonna have to, but that's really hard.
Yeah, I'm going
That's a
with
good
wedding.
question.
I'm going with wedding. Good point. Save money.
It's a good question.
Yeah, that's a good question. And even with the wife, the runaway bride situation, yeah, you know what? All right, I'll save money all around. And
money said you just said.
and stress. Money and stress here. Real quick, Rome Freak says here back on the elevator one, he said, we had a flood here in Omaha. He's from my home state, go Big Red, a couple months back, and someone was stuck in the elevator, and then it started filling with water.
See, nah.
That is messed up. He said, wow. He said he'll take the ski lift off of that.
There we go.
I'm like, yeah, if you throw that in there, yeah.
If you throw that in there.
That's torture method. That's one of them scary movie things.
No, all you gotta do
Hey.
is, you ain't never seen Mission Impossible? Pop the ceiling out and climb up the little.
Yeah. There you go. If push come to shove. Push come to shove.
Or just float with the water up,
It's gonna be like, boom. Oh man. All right, Ben, what's next?
This or that. Would you rather be a wizard or would you rather be a vampire?
You know my answer to this one, Ben. I think I did this one before. Or we did vampire with something else. So, but we got new cronies.
Are you going to be a vampire then? Is that what you'd rather be?
Yeah, See, you know me. I love vampire movies, and they I could live forever. Bam. Have a goon squad.
I'm going wizard because vampires do too many things at night. I like getting my sleep. They're up at all hours of the night. You have to be invited in places. I'm pretty spontaneous. I like to randomly go see a movie or go to a restaurant. I don't need to be invited. I don't want to have to be invited everywhere.
That's a good
I cook
question.
with a lot of garlic. I cook with a lot of garlic. I can't be a vampire.
That's a good question about the movie theater though, because I love going to movies, and if I'm a vampire, that means I have to be invited to the movie theater, bro. What if I just want to
be invited
go?
everywhere, man. See?
Ah,
Well,
okay, that's a good
Gandalf
point.
was a G.
True.
Gandalf was cold blooded, man.
Yeah,
I'm going wizard hands down. Yeah.
Might be the line of the podcast. Gandalf was a G.
We're gonna clip that. We're gonna clip that right there.
I'm just saying, man.
What you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with wizard as well because if I'm a wizard, I can cast spells. I can do different things.
Yeah.
Hey,
What do I really do with mine? Can I turn into a bat? I guess.
you could do all that. You're a wizard.
I feel like facial hair is frowned upon amongst the vampire community, whereas wizards' facial hair is embraced too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
A lot of
shall-
robes with
Yes.
nice silks and cloths.
It
You
looks
just have
comfy.
the blood, obviously, when you suck somebody's blood. The blood be out in the beard.
Would get old. You
But
gotta
that-
look out for werewolves. Aren't vampires and werewolves beefing all the time?
Yeah,
Is that all that vampires eat is blood? Is that it?
I think
pretty
so.
much.
So that they
Pretty
never
much.
go like in and out and
Nah.
never get like a good burger?
It's gotta be. It's basically gotta be raw. The blood,
Oh.
and it's gotta be freshly killed. That's the only thing. I remember I've seen a few vampire movies where they were trying to have an alternate. Obviously not drink the blood of a human being, and the only thing that worked was a fresh killed animal. So cow, fox, whatever.
That's a lot of work.
That's too much
That's a
work.
lot of work.
Hey, but you fast. But when you a vampire, you got that supersonic speed. You can
Yeah.
chase anything down.
Yeah.
So you
And
good.
then and then you come at me and you shall not pass, and there you go.
Hey, you better have all the garlic and the holy water, all that ready to go.
I'm have Emerald Lagasse with me. Bam, baby.
Bam.
We're gonna saute some onions right in your face.
Oh man, that's funny right there. All right, what's next, Ben? What you got?
would you rather never be able to take an airplane again to travel, or would you rather never have internet access again?
Ooh.
See, I go first in this one.
All
I'm
right.
good with never having to take an airplane again. I don't like flying, but I do love driving. So I'd love to drive. And also, I'd like to throw this out there for anybody that hasn't taken like a cross-country train trip before.
I know.
Really beautiful scenery when you take a train across this country. So I'm good with never being able to fly again.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ben.
Same.
Yep,
Same.
I'm good with that one.
Same.
Internet, man, it's hit and miss already.
I don't need the internet, but if I don't. I remember, being 32 now. I remember life before it.
He said 32. I thought you was gonna say like 8. You said 32.
No, but like I remember before internet wasn't even a thing. You call your friends on a telephone and you speak to them. And that's it.
Yeah.
But if I'm trying to get somewhere, because without the internet, if I want to get somewhere, I want to get somewhere now. I'm not the most patient person. I do enjoy a nice train ride, though. I do enjoy it.
Yeah, train rides I've done.
But I would choose to be able to fly and not have internet.
Okay. And to the Twitch chat, back to the vampire, Big B said you could do a spell to turn yourself into a vampire. I don't think that's the smartest thing. I don't think that. If you're
loophole.
Yeah,
It's a loophole.
it might not be the smartest thing, but there is an option. There you go.
Yeah.
And then Rome Freak and Eeyore, I believe, are both on the same thing. I'm keeping my high-speed internet. Eeyore is a gamer like myself. They're keeping that internet. Keeping the internet. All right.
Yeah.
What's up next, Ben?
This one could get
ugly.
All right.
Oh,
So
boy.
I'm assuming do you like the music better of Michael Jackson or Drake? Or is it which one was a better performer, Ahman? Which one was
Okay, I brought this up because I was watching Charlamagne the God, Breakfast Club, and DJ Envy brought this. I think they just did this to harass Charlamagne.
It's a thing on Twitter right now.
Right, talking
It
about
started a couple days ago. Yeah,
Drake being a better performer than Michael Jackson. So it's performer. And of course, to me, it's hands down. It's Michael Jackson all day.
I don't
understand how that's art.
Right, that's not even hard.
No, I don't think it was the performer because
It was the performer. It was performer, and who brought up the best dance? Like, who created the best dance trends? It was
That's
two
not
of them.
that's not possible.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I think the better question would be musically, like who's made a bigger impact, or
It was all that. It was like 3 questions they asked
Okay.
Charlamagne, and Charlamagne was passionate, like he was like about to punch somebody. He was so mad that he's like, "Why are you even asking me this question?"
Yeah, I'm with him there. That's absurd.
Right.
You seen those old Michael Jackson videos when he's on tour and like girls are passing out when he
Right.
Dudes are passing
Men,
out.
grown men are passing out.
Passing out.
Grown men.
I ain't never. I've been in a lot of clubs. I ain't never seen one girl pass out with Kiki.
No.
Ain't nobody passing out at Kiki.
No. That's what I said. It's Michael Jackson all day long. Man, so my point, then another point. Remember, I don't know if y'all remember this, but okay, because I think I had 10 years on y'all, 10 to 12, because I'm 44. So MJ, when his videos came on, he shut down the whole network. He was on ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS, NBC, HBO, MTV, VH1. He was on the Ocho. He was on everything. I remember when that video, Remember the Time, came out.
During the Super Bowl.
Right. It was on every channel. It was on.
Yeah.
I was flicking through the channels. I was still in LA, down in Leimert Park, and I'm flicking the channels. I thought I was almost like a bad dream. Like, wait a minute, it's on every channel.
It was on every channel.
I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, but this is Michael Jackson. This is all good. Okay, it's good. So yeah. MJ.
Young Eddie Murphy was in that, and
Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Young.
They just needed to throw Bo Jackson in that thing or somebody.
I think what people need to realize whenever it's who's more popular, Justin Bieber or this person, or Drake or this person, anyone from that era reached the same level of fame without social media. And I think once you factor that in, like people in Berlin knew Michael Jackson's music word for word without the internet. Like once you factor that in, you realize like you're not gonna touch the Beatles, you're not gonna touch Michael Jackson. You're just not.
Prince.
Yeah. I would
Prince,
say
you're it's not even a contest.
so. We kind of know where that question goes. So in the Twitch chat, the same thing. Rome Freak, Roger Dodger, Big B. They all say MJ, hands down, 100%, king of pop, doing the thing.
The Greenies got it right.
Yep, the
Greenies are on
moonwalk,
it.
shana na na hee hee. That's what Big B. That's what Big B put in here. I was trying to, word it out. I was trying to word it. He said,
try it again.
He said, Shamona no, hee hee. Shamona.
Shamona no.
Oh, that's what I'm trying to enunciate. I'm doing my bro. What Mark Watts taught us. Enunciate the words.
Yeah, Shimona no.
Oh, what we got left, Ben? Oh man.
Our next this or that. Tacos or burritos? This
Simple.
or that?
Simple
This
question.
is the easiest question possible, and I hope you three get it right.
Everybody
Who goes first?
Everyone say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Tacos.
Burrito.
Tacos. What are you doing, bro?
Are you tacos?
This is why.
Tacos.
This is why. 1, you can get more per bite in a burrito. Also, how many? Hold on. Are we talking crunchy or soft shell taco?
Crunchy.
Whatever you prefer.
It don't. Yeah,
Crunchy.
whatever you prefer.
Crunchy's
Let's go
the
crunchy.
If you are crunchy, okay, 1 crunchy taco, you bite into it, you bite it another time, it's immediately falling apart, and now you have to use a fork or you have to use your fingers to scoop it up. 2, if it's a soft shell taco, you cannot fit as much as you can into a burrito. Burrito, pound for pound, you are getting more flavor with every single bite. Also, a mobile food. It is very difficult to travel with a taco with stuff falling out all over the place. Burrito, one hand, bite, I'm driving. One hand, bite, I'm filling out my taxes. It's easy.
Taco has a day. Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Bam. Just shut it down.
Well, how about this? Right? You're right. Burrito you can take with you. I mean, shit, it's a carry-on, right? You can take it wherever you want.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Taco demands your respect. It demands that you sit down and you finish me before you leave the table.
Yeah.
Taco.
I'm taco.
And also being from Southern California, the best
Street tacos.
street tacos.
Street tacos. And that's kind of where I'm at. Is the street
On the
tacos.
open grill, they chopping it up real nice, real fresh.
Little
Throwing it in
cilantro, little onions.
with the double tortilla. Ooh.
And then usually those
I respect it.
those are usually the soft taco version.
Yeah.
And
Soft taco.
usually soft taco, the street taco. So that's where I'm at. Did you
That's
chime in, Ben? Did you chime in? Were you able? You said taco, I think, right?
No, I said burrito. I'm
It was two in it. So it was me and Shane,
Thank you,
and then
man.
Ben and Bart. So the bees.
Me and Ben are on the same page with burritos and with ski lifts.
in the Twitch chat. Let me see.
described it perfectly.
Go that. What you saying, Ben?
I'm gonna say I can't add anything to why I would choose burrito or taco. Brock laid it out brilliantly.
Yep, that's what Rome Freak said in the Twitch chat here. It says Brock really thought about this. He laid it out. And then Roger Dodger says, I like Brock's mind. He approaches everything with logic and efficiency.
What is this?
You're right.
Wait, who were those last
you're
two
dang
people?
right.
Roger Dodger. Yeah, Roger the Dodger. Roger Dodger.
Dang right.
Roger Dodger, hit me up on Twitter. I'm gonna learn you something real good.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna further this conversation, Roger Dodger.
Oh, okay. And then Rome Freak says, I feel like the topic has been on Brock's mind before, eh? He's been thinking about that one. But then Big B says nachos are the best, to be honest. Yes, they're all that. And then Eeyore said he's a taco guy, so we had a little back and forth.
Thanks.
Good
A
comment.
little mix in there. I like that.
Yep. And then also Eeyore throws in there, I like taco salads, the ultimate taco. He said, "Get away." You see that, ER? Oh
Next
man.
question.
Thanks, Roasted Bananas. Yes, I am feeling better. Should be returning to campus soon. A little under the weather, so getting back. So, are we done with this or that, man? Was that it?
One final this or that.
One
Would you
more.
rather
Okay.
a TikTok dance? So would you rather learn a TikTok dance or do an Instagram challenge?
It'll be Instagram challenge. I just need to know what it is. Obviously, know what that challenge is. I'm not dancing on TikTok. I'm sorry, because that's not dancing. That is not dancing. This is not dancing. This your hand. This your upper body. That's not dancing. We could go back to MJ on that. MJ, it's your whole. You got your leg popping up in the air and everything.
I'm gonna go with Instagram challenge because although I would not want to do either, usually IG challenges at least come with like a donation or raising awareness.
Another reason why I would do an IG challenge.
If I'm gonna look like a fool and do something I don't want to do, at least I'll do it
for a good cause.
For a good cause. There you
yeah, like I did the ice bucket challenge when that was.
I did too. Yeah. I did the ice bucket.
The whole TikTok thing, like it misses my brain. I don't get it. I'm not gonna
you have about 13 years to figure it out because you have a daughter. So
yeah, that's very. Oh,
yeah.
Lord Jesus, please. Next topic. Next question.
Well, that's it right there, broski. Yeah, Ben, what was your answer?
Instagram challenge all day. TikTok dances, they're lame. Like
they're lazy. They're lazy.
Yeah. That's a lot of money, so you can't knock. I don't knock the hustle.
I'm not gonna knock that part, but other than that, no, I'm not doing it. Yeah. I'm not doing it.
So,
not cool.
Not for me.
All right.
That was this or that, Ahman.
All right, thank you, Ben. Now, Ben, you gotta cut, right?
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna keep recording, so you continue to do your thing, man.
All right.
I got 10 minutes.
All right. So I got
interview the Cal coaches.
All right, I got
big game, baby.
I got Shane and Brock here for a little bit. Ben, have a great rest of your day.
Always a pleasure.
I'll keep.
If I ever see you in Madison, if you're here with the Big Ten Network, we're having a burrito.
Yes.
Bam.
You got it.
They make burritos in Wisconsin. Burritos. I thought it was just cheese curds and
beer.
Cheese curds
and beer
and all you can drink milk, baby.
And Miller Lite. Miller Lite. That's all it is.
Milk and cheese curds.
Oh man. Hey, I'm lactose intolerant, so yeah, I got to go. I got to go.
Stay away.
So, all right, Ben, have a great day. So, we're going to keep this train rolling. So, we'll get into some of the little quick hitting topics here. And one of the ones I was bringing up is something that's been known, and we've been talking about it. And I know y'all heard about it too, is the verdict, or, Apple and Epic, they had beef for about a year and then went to trial. And the verdict came out. And the verdict, I'm going to read here to you here. And so it was District Attorney, or not District Attorney, U.S. District Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers. She ruled last Friday to Epic failed to prove that Apple was a monopoly, basically. And in such, it now owes Apple revenue commissions as back payment. So that's a lot of money. I don't know what that dollar amount is.
But also they also said that Epic could use Apple's platform for in-game purchases, correct?
Let me see. I'm not sure about that, but it did say the judge also ruled that Apple cannot keep developers from directing customers to alternative payment methods. And that's what Apple did. Apple.
That was the issue.
Yeah, so Apple said, okay, so when you go into an app to buy Fortnite or download Fortnite, Apple basically rigged it to where instead of paying that it's paying that 30% that was going to going to Apple, then they somehow programmed it to where they got majority of the money in their pocket.
It's because Fortnite was free. So Apple wasn't making any money off of all these demos.
But it was the skins, all the skins that you buy to put on your character in the game.
Apple
so
wanted a cut of that because
Apple felt like we're not because the app is free and because the additional stuff we're not getting a cut of. why should we let you on our platform when we're
Correct.
not? Okay, I get it.
Right, because it was already on their platform, and they had an agreement. And what Epic tried to do is basically go beyond the agreement. Basically, they already signed it and try to, you know what? Even though we signed this agreement, we're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to get away with this, and it didn't happen. So I'll continue reading here. It says the judge also ruled that Apple cannot keep developers from directing customers to alternative pay methods outside the App Store, citing California competition laws. Y'all live out there. Y'all know how California law is. It's rough. They don't give nobody no breaks out there. So the ruling also has massive implications for ongoing antitrust suits in the gaming industry, and particularly for the mobile gaming world. So Judge Rogers' decision means developers can funnel iOS users to other payment methods, cutting Apple out some commissions and increasing their own profit margins. So this is basically started last summer or last spring, basically May of 2020, and now across the board. I remember talking to this. We talked about this on a podcast when it first came out, and this now the verdict's out. It's like, oh man, now so it doesn't hurt the game. Obviously it doesn't hurt the developer game. It's going to basically, Epic is getting their just due in terms of their punishment. Obviously have to pay back, but they got money. They got a lot of money.
They got it.
I love the ruling because not only because she agreed with Apple, saying that Apple's not like a monopoly,
right?
And really, in the sense of it, like just because they're popular and because they've been able to attract more customers than anything else doesn't necessarily make them a monopoly at all. Yeah. And it would go, like, if she was to rule that would go against so many different other businesses and all that jargon. Like Apple just built a platform that was just better and attracted more users, and they shouldn't be penalized for doing that. So I agreed with that, and I like that ruling. And then I like that just because that you can't restrict or choose who is on your platform and where the money goes, and like that sounds more like a monopoly than just having a dominant platform.
Right. Sense. Yeah, and because I remember like when I first heard of everything, I was just like, "Come on, Epic!" I mean, I seen between the time we were at E3, Brock, remember there, and the year before that is when Epic first had their big booth on the E3 floor, and this booth was basically like we were talking about Godzilla earlier, the Godzilla of booths, and the space that you get at E3 is something like, for every square foot, it's like $100 per square foot. So this is a lot of money. And they had this booth that was at least half a football field long and a whole football field wide. So 50 by 50, basically. They had 2 stories. They had a first floor and a second floor in this booth. So I knew they had paid well over millions of dollars for this booth in their first, and this was 2015 when the game first came out. And so I was just like, wow, they good. They got a lot of money. Yeah. That game is helping them, their pockets out. So when I saw that, and then obviously this hit last year, basically 5 years after the fact, I was like, Epic is really they're just trying to get it, just take everything. It's like, man. And so I knew then that eventually they were going to get, not, obviously it's not a big punishment. They just got to pay back money. Nobody's going to jail here. It's basically a white collar. It's a white collar crime, but still, there is something. They got discipline, and now this says a lot to the other developers in the world in this space. Hey, just stick to the script, stick to the agreement. Yep. And not try to do something under the table. That's what it was. A little one of them under the table things. They were trying to get away with because they're already making a lot of money. Nobody's not gonna say nothing. Not California.
Not in California.
Not in Cali.
Not in California.
I know they got, because what's the one, the boyfriend girlfriend. If you live with your girlfriend or boyfriend for more than 6 months, you're like automatic married.
Squatter,
something like
that. Squatter or something.
Yeah. So just
you
so
entitled.
So just so you know, anybody in the Twitch chat, if you're deciding to move to California with your significant other, y'all make sure y'all on good. Y'all good. Make sure y'all
read the terms and conditions
of being a boyfriend and a girlfriend in California.
Read the fine print.
Yeah. So and then the next big one here, was another big one that hit the scene. Obviously, not within the last year, was the big DCMA Twitch laying out streamers cutting off their, erasing their VODs, their VODs if they were playing, copyrighted music. And so I just got, me being a streamer, I got this long email from Twitch, stating that now we could use music, but it was like kind of contradicting itself. Let me see. I'm gonna try to find it. I'm gonna try to find it here on my email here and read this thing out loud because it's confusing. You let me know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll let you. I mean, and like most of those things, it's not an accident that it's confusing. It's very intentional.
Right. So here we go. So I got the article in front of me, and then I got the email right here because I know Eeyore, he streams a lot of the Greenies stream in here. So it said, Ahman Green TV. We are excited to announce that we've entered into an agreement with the National Music Publishers Association, so the NMPA, to provide or to build a productive partnership between Twitch and music publishers. As the part of this agreement, we want you to let you know about a new process that we are creating that participating music rights holders can opt into report certain uses of their music, which is more flexible.
You've already lost me. I have no idea what they're even talking about.
Right. It's stating that now they got an agreement with music, people that obviously the artists, the companies that produce and distribute music, and saying that at a high level, this new process, in the distinct of the DMCA focuses on the going forward flagrant uses of music to start the warning. And basically, in a nutshell, they're not going to just cut your VOD off. They'll at least notify you. Be like, all right, they'll give you a warning process. Strike one, you can't play Biggie and Pac. Strike two, we told you once before. Right. Then strike three. At least they're giving you a warning because last year,
that's fair.
Last year was no warnings. If you logged into your Twitch account, then you had about all your last weeks of videos that were gone.
Just gone.
And then obviously for the little streamer that's trying to build their name, work, this is their job. It's like, wait a minute, my money, this is my way to make money. It's gone. To the Twitch chat, I like to hear what anybody has any feedback on that, because obviously that is it's a rule, but it's kind of like the NFL guys. It's not really clear. It's like, what are you saying? Like the taunting rule. That's something me and Mike Wall been talking about on our podcast. The taunting rule in college and in pro, it's like, come on, like, what are you going?
Crazy.
Like,
it's ridiculous.
Because go Shane.
No, it's as far as the football is concerned. I mean, that's part of what fans love. That's part of what makes football unique. I mean, if you can fight in hockey, why can't you spin a football and talk some shit after a great catch? Like, come on.
Right. And Pete Carroll he made a good point. He said, so now you're telling me I got to train my players from an emotional side when I'm telling them to be excited, have fun. He's a fun coach. You could tell he has fun. But to tell my now player that's celebrating a sack or a touchdown, that now they got to turn away from the player or the sideline before you celebrate. Oh, so you're in the moment, but you just got to go a little bit to 5 feet that way. Yeah. Before you do your thing, of celebration. Yeah. So, so we got Roger the Dodger says here in the Twitch says that I've been asking around to other streamers who play lots of music, which I've done. I've been listening to Lauren, who I just recommended to you, Brock, about the Madden shoutcast, and she was, I was listening to her stream. She's playing Music Soul Child, Jill Scott, and I'm like, wait a minute, I thought it was, what's the rule here? It's kind of confusing. Right. So it says not one of them has had any of their videos taken down for the DMCA. I think Twitch is still trying to cover themselves with all the liability, obviously, because like I said, when you erase that VOD, that's money for that streamer. When it's because when it's taken down, basically, because they use it for clips and advertising their Twitch channel. So
All right, guys, I have to go.
All right, Shane.
Thank you for having me, Ahman.
I gotta knock some stuff off before our ESTV call, so I'll be seeing you in a second, Ahman.
Yeah, for sure. So I got a couple more things to talk about here on the podcast.
Of course,
and
man.
Keep
Well,
this thing
shoot,
rolling.
Anytime.
But thank you.
Yeah,
Guys,
absolutely.
thank you for
Please
sure.
hesitate, man.
This was
Of
fun.
course.
Big
And
Greg, it's been awesome.
we might have to send a note out to Monday Night Football, ESPN, whatever, the Ocho, whoever, to get us on there
Let us do it, huh?
to watch some Monday Night
Let's
Football.
do it.
How players
Yes,
watch the game
Exactly.
and commentate.
For
But
sure, man.
but thank
Until
you,
next time,
thank
sir.
you both. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Peace out,
Man.
greenies.
Yep.
See you, Grady's.
All right. So Ben, he's obviously got the podcast still going. So no intros, no outros, no roll your boat. But we're gonna still get into the rest of this podcast and stream here. And we're on to game releases. So my game release of the week is looks like a fun game. I haven't got it yet, but I just found out about it. It is called, let me make sure I'm saying this name correctly, Kenya Bridge of Spirits. So Kenya Bridge of Spirits is an action adventure game developed by publisher Ember Lab. The story follows Kenya, a young spirit guide who uses her magical ability. I like this one. So she uses her magic abilities to help the deceased, so somebody who just passed away, and people move from the physical world to the spirit world. So obviously seen a lot of movies, about going to that next level of living or existence in the world. So this game hits on that premise. So this game is presented as a third-person game, and actually it came out earlier this summer, but they're re-releasing it, and it's, like I said, single-player mode, and it's $39.99. I believe that's on Steam, so you could download it there, and I believe it's also on PlayStation 4 and 5, and Microsoft Windows, so on PC as well. So action adventure game, looks really cool. It reminds me of Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, or Breath of the Wind. Breath of the Wind. I always mess that up. But fun game, an adventure game. Any game like that actually hits on something that everybody's trying to answer. Ask that question. What happens when you pass? What can you do? What can't you do? So I like the premise of that game. So check it out. That's my game release. It's not very much. It's on all the platforms. Download it, buy the disc. Me, I'm a hard disk guy. Check it out here. Look into the Twitch chat. So I'm gonna lay heavy on y'all right now. So we have Big B says they played music on Twitch for years before they started copyright. Yes, definitely they did there. And Eeyore, yes, Halo Infinite. It's 2 flights coming out in the next 2 weeks. We got this weekend and next weekend. That's gonna be Halo flights coming out here. And then Rome Freak, he said, is that the 20? Oh, it's the 23rd to the 26th is a technical preview for Halo Infinite. I'm excited for that. And then then you got Rome Freak says we might get a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement soon. Oh, with a hard release date. Oh, okay. That's one of my favorites. I'm still walking through that game. Didn't quite finish it, but there's so much to do in that game. There's so much to do, but a fun game. But that's kind of like I've watched the video for Kenya and the Bridge of Spirits, which is cool. And like I said, that premise, the whole idea, she's escorting people to the next level of living, which I think is very cool. And that kids get to experience that, gamers get to kind of go down that aisle, that role of questioning, where do we go after we pass? So, I like that. So, wrap this show up here. We got finished up with what's on stream. We don't have the cool intro like we usually have with Ben and John, but we get right into it. So I'm gonna roll my boat gently down the stream. So I'm on Netflix, and I want y'all to check out this series. It's on Netflix, and if you haven't watched it already, I'm pretty sure it's been around actually for about 3 years, and it's called Explain. And so Explain is I'll say, kind of like a doc series, but it has a lot of episodes. And usually doc series don't have that many episodes, but this one has. And it's a series from Vox Production that digs into the wide range of topics such as the rise of cryptocurrency, why diets fail, the new world of K-pop, which I found out about that for myself probably like 3 years ago. I was like, okay, Korean pop music and the bands and the culture behind it and how it got started. And then so I'll point out some of my favorite episodes. Was most recent episodes that came out actually here in September. It was an episode that came out on September 10th about hurricanes and why and how they're getting stronger. And obviously it has to do with global warming, on why they're getting stronger and more frequent in the Gulf of Mexico or the Caribbean Sea, the Atlantic, and anywhere across the equator, because it has to do with the heat in the air, the humidity, the warm water in those environments, along the Gulf Coast, along like Hawaii, South Pacific, the Indian Ocean, those areas where it's very, very humid, very hot throughout the year. So that's a very interesting episode of Explain. And then another one is called Apologies. So basically, it talks about how and what a good apology is. And obviously, we see people today going on social media, celebrities, people we don't know, but apologizing and what makes a good apology. So that whole episode breaks down what makes a good apology, because it says here in the caption, apologizing is tough. And in this era of public media, of public mea culpas, forgiveness isn't guaranteed. So what makes a good apology, and why does it hold so much power? So I definitely enjoy that one. And then the other, it's a whole bunch of topics. So we got plastic surgery episode, hurricanes, your skin, like what's on it, what helps it, grow and not grow. Chess, the game of chess, the end of oil, also oil in the world. That's an episode on dogs. So I know people, they love dogs. Everybody's a dog person. A lot of people are. I'm not saying everybody is, but a lot of people are. Then there's an episode on flags, how important the flag is, not just the American flag, but all flags around the world. And then another recent episode is royalty, and then an episode just on sugar. So for the gamers out there, I think you need to watch that sugar episode. And they actually did, this episode is actually a couple years old. I think they did it in their season 1, which came out in 2018. It's on esports. So they talk about esports back in 2018. So it's 3 seasons of Explained on Netflix. So check it out. It's fun. They talk about fast food, I think, too. It's interesting. I like it because all the interesting topics, it's very educational. You hear, you learn about all this stuff going on in our world. And Roger the Dodger, go say, oh, hurricanes. I thought you said Burger King. No, hurricanes. No, the tropical storms that have been disrupting the United States every year. Like we had Hurricane Ida destroy the Gulf Coast this year and postpone games and cancel games. That's why the Packers had to play the New Orleans Saints in Jacksonville for the first week of the NFL season. So check out Explain. It's on Netflix. It's been on Netflix for like 3 years now, and so it's 3 seasons of it. It's about 8 to 10 episodes per season. So I say check it out to get educated on certain things in the world. I mean, they even have, I think they do one on marriage and love and all that stuff. So check it out. Get educated, a little bit. When you get off that game, episodes are short. They're not real long. They're only like 24 minutes long. So you're not there for, hours on it. It's quick in and out. I mean, we binged it in a weekend. We watched all 3 seasons in 3 days. It was quick. So that's it. So we're at the end of the podcast. So I want to appreciate everyone coming in today. Great conversation with Shane and Brock and Ben today, and also from the Twitch chat. All y'all, all the greenies were live today. Eeyore, Denai jumped in with the follow or with the sub. Big B, as usual, in here dropping. Rome Freak, haven't seen in a while, jumped in here. Big Boom Howard also. I'm excited about the Halo Infinite, man. I'm so geeked up about that. Eeyore, as usual. And if I didn't mention your name, I appreciate you for jumping in this Twitch chat. And then also for everybody that's been a part of my fundraiser, just, to explain it, it's full disclosure, it was weird. It just got basically shut down for some reason. And I emailed Tiltify, who was helping me with the donations. And so I'm going to continue. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I'm going to continue with finishing off with the raffle, because I know a lot of you jumped in a raffle to win a helmet, to win some controllers, some headsets. So I will be doing the raffle. Trying to think either probably tomorrow night, and online. I'll stream, obviously, stream it, and then we'll get everybody's prizes mailed out to you. Whoever is picked for the winners of the helmet. I think it was a Preston Smith helmet signed by him, controller from Power A, headsets from Lucid Sound, and then my jersey, 8x10, other little items that were up for raffle for the fundraiser, for the Gamers Outreach fundraiser. So that still will happen. We're going to do that tomorrow night. We're going to tally up all the names and then obviously pick a winner for the raffle. Just want to let everybody know that and pass the word along. Whoever put in a donation for the Gamers Outreach fundraiser for the go-karts for kids in the Wisconsin Children's Hospitals. That will so I'm gonna donate the rest of the funding to get one go-kart built. So it's just needed, I think it was around $2,000 to get one kart built. So I'm gonna donate the rest from my Ahman Green Foundation to make sure we hit our goal. So we definitely did it. So again, appreciate everybody jumping in the stream and listening to the podcast. And so download this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast: Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you download your podcast, and then rate us and review us, because that's very important. Obviously, it keeps us going. It keeps the stream. That keeps the podcast going. I'm always stream. I've been feeling under the weather. That's why I haven't been streaming as much. And now I'm getting my energy back, slowly but surely. So I'm gonna be streaming a little bit more like tomorrow night, starting off there. But yeah, give us that feedback. Rate us, review us, download us. There's a lot of episodes. I don't know. I say the podcast area probably has the exact number of how many podcasts we actually have. And you can check that out here. So we had the Kid 87. Oh, and yeah, thank you. What's good? I'm good, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself? And Rome Freak, always enjoy. Oh, thank you, man. Always enjoy watching. That's what we're striving to do. Have fun on this stream. Just have a good conversation. And welcome in the Twitch chat to add in the questioning as well. And then we had another Wise Got Game. How you doing? Welcome to the stream as well. And so I will be back on tomorrow night to hand out the to pick the winners of the raffles that we had for the last 2 months of fundraising we did for the go-kart. So we'll get that done tomorrow night, and then I'll get everything mailed out to y'all in the next coming weeks. So I appreciate y'all. Hope everyone have a good rest of your Hump Day Wednesday, and see you next week on the Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. Peace.